Alright, and what is up YouTube? Nerdfolk Gaming here. So today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite Pokemon, which is actually Dusclops. Not looking wise, but just using him in competitive play. I always like to use him because he's always nice. First we're going to start off with Dusknoir, which is the more basic one, but he's a pretty bulky physical sweeper, as it says here. Because he's got pretty high defenses, pretty high attack, and you're going to want to try to raise that health as much as possible, but it doesn't really matter. The health doesn't really matter when you have all of these defenses. So he's a pretty hard hitter. Curse is more for a setting, like for setting up, because you don't need speed anyway because he's super slow. So he's usually going to be going last anyway. So this is for if someone's trying to set up, or you know you'll have the time to use a curse or something and get in a free stack, you can just do that. Raise your attack and defense. That's always nice. But don't always rely on using this. You might go an entire game without using it. It doesn't really matter. But now we're going to be getting into payback, where curse actually is better than like stockpile or something, because it's going to be decreasing your speed, which you already have low speed, so it doesn't matter anyway. But if you go last, or you go after the target, you're going to be doing double damage. So it's actually like 100-100 instead of a 50-100. So you're basically always going to be getting that 100-100, which is very, very strong. And then you're also going to want to just run maybe an elemental punch. Fire punch might be good too. Ice punch I feel has the most potential, because especially in lower ranks, a lot of people are going to be using characters like Salamence or maybe Dragon type legendaries, because a lot of the legendaries are Dragon type. But basically, a lot of Dragon types are used because they're safer, strong picks. So Ice Punch is really strong, especially against something like Salamence, because it's going to be ultra effective. Shadow Punch is kind of just a generic physical shadow or ghost type attack that always hits, so it's just kind of a safe thing to do. Also, he doesn't really learn that many ghost type attacking moves. And yeah, that's kind of all there is to him. If you really want to take it out for maybe a Shadow Sneak, because you want to, he's pretty low and you're obviously super slow, so you want to get that last hit. Shadow Sneak might be a better option sometimes, because you're going to get that priority and probably be going first. So that's always nice to have. Leftovers is the item. You can kind of run a lot of different things. Citrus berry is always nice, because you're going to be getting that quarter health HP back once you reach half. Leftovers I just find is a good option. It's a good safe option, because he doesn't have a lot of health, but he has a lot of defenses, so you can tank up or soak up a lot of that damage and then regain a lot of it with the leftovers. So it's always nice to have leftovers. If you really want to run an offensive thing, you might want to have like an expert belt, but I don't think that's that great, especially since Dark and Ghost aren't good against too many things. So expert belt might not be too great. I would probably stick with leftovers. If you really want to get the citrus berry, it's also a good option, but leftovers is basically leftovers is for more of a tankier thing, where you think you're going to be staying in a lot longer, whereas citrus berry is kind of just like you're trying to do as much damage as you can and heal as much as you can fast. So it's kind of like a hard hitter use. But yeah, that's kind of how you play Dusknoir. I don't like Dusknoir as much, but he's pretty good. Also, pressure, the ability, it's decent, but I wouldn't really, if I had to choose, I wouldn't have it on a Dusknoir, because you can have a lot better things, but it's decent. It's alright, especially since he soaks up a lot of that damage, so it might help you out later on. But now we're going to be getting into the better version, in my opinion, which is Dusclops. Dusclops You're also going to want to run pressure. Frisk is pretty good, but at the same time, it's not that great because it's only on switch in, so it's not every time. Like, I don't know, it's not as good. I would probably go with pressure, especially if people have moves like Fire Blast or Stone Edge where they don't have that much PP. It's gonna do quite a lot. So you're gonna want to get this. This is the most important part about this entire build, where you're gonna be raising your defense and special defense by 1.5, which is kind of like a free stockpile, as you will. So uh, these stats are actually a bit off. I would probably recommend running. I would actually go complete defense and special defense, and then just put the remaining in the health. I do this because if you think about it, he's a very defensive guy. Maybe if you want to drop this a bit and get a tiny bit more health because you have bold, you could do that. But for the most part, get as much health, defenses as you can. Because of the Eviolite, it's going to be raising your stats more than if you were to put it in health. It would just be raising your health, but it wouldn't be amplifying it. And yeah, so he's just a really, really, really tanky guy. Like, look at those stats. And that's before the Eviolite. So just keep that in mind. He is an amazing, amazing tank. Now for the attacks, Will-O-Wisp, Protect, Pain Split, and Nightshade. This is a pretty standard build for him. If you don't like Pain Split and you really want to swap it out, I would swap it out for Confuse Ray, because it's just a really nice thing to have. Because once you get that Will-O-Wisp off, you're also going to be decreasing their attack. And burning them, so you're going to be doing some damage over time while also having that Confuse Ray on them, so you're having kind of like two status things on them at once, so it's really annoying for them. You're going to want to use Protect to kind of stall out because of that Will-O-Wisp. You're going to want to use Will-O-Wisp as your main source of damage because it does quite a bit of damage over time. But yeah, you're going to want to use Protect as a stall out and stall as much as you possibly can. Confuse Ray to get in that extra status and possibly negating some damage to you and back at them. And Nightshade. This is a very underestimated item, or attack, sorry. But if you're a really, really, really defensive tank and you don't have much attack or special attack, and you don't want to just be completely and you don't want to have like rest or something where you're completely defensive and you have nothing for your own, Nightshade is a really good option because it does a lot of damage. It's usually 2 to 3 attacks are going to be able to kill a guy, like 2 or 3 Nightshades, maybe 4, which is really, really good because he's not meant for doing that much damage. He's meant for kind of just stalling out, doing a lot of damage with Will-O-Wisp, and just kind of sacrificing for a guy. But don't underestimate this strategy. It is amazing. I've taken out 3 guys with my 1 Dusclops, including a mega evolved Metagross. So with this exact setup. So don't underestimate this. This is amazing. Again, you can also run Pain Split to get that health back because you don't have any health regaining attacks. But yeah, that's really, really, really good. And yeah, just tell me what you guys think about this. It's starting to kind of rise in popularity a bit. But the only downfall to this is, first of all, his health isn't too great, but that doesn't really matter when you have that high defenses. And he can't hold an item, but if you were to see about the Dusknoir, his stats only gain, let's see this, 135 to 130. So the defenses are basically the same, only 5 more and 40 to 45. So they only gain 5 more in each defenses, which is the only thing that you're really looking for on Dusclops. But with the Eviolite, you're going to be gaining more defenses than the Dusknoir, and the items are not too great. as you can see, they're kind of just like there to help you as much as they can, but it's not like you're building like with an item when you're playing Dusknoir. So risking that item slot for the Eviolite is amazing and definitely worth it. That's basically there is to it, and I would definitely recommend this, especially for people that like stalling out, like stalling walls. That's my favorite thing to do in this game, is just using walls and just trying to stall out the game as much as possible and slowly drain down their health. That's the kind of person I am. I am the BM kind of Pokemon um, player. So yeah, hope you guys liked that video and enjoyed uh, it. I enjoy making these videos. They're pretty easy to make, and I don't know. I just like sharing my ideas and just some different things that some people come up with and whatever. So hopefully you guys have learned something about Dusclops or Dusknoir or anything, and tell me in the comments if you like Dusknoir or Dusclops better. They're played very differently, but I think both work pretty well. And yeah, that's basically it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.